That scared me.
Oh, here we go. I'm ready. Let's see.
Oh, look at that. Wow. That's a good brontosaurus. Or it's an apatosaurus. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I missed it. I looked at another screen. So I just wanted to say, we did, what is this, Gamera versus Jiger?
Yes. When
an ancient statue is moved for display in Expo 1970, a giant, vaguely Triceratops-like monster is released to the released.
Okay.
Is released. The monster goes to Japan in pursuit of the statue and ends up battling Gamera, the flying turtle.
You know, I know that this is going to sound stupid, but I have now seen enough of these that I know exactly what the studio looks like.
Well, this is the other studio. This is the competing studio to Godzilla.
Is it?
Yeah, this is so Gamera was a whole series that was supposed to compete with Godzilla.
But how, when they had Destroy All Monsters, how come Gamera was in that one too?
Because they brought a couple directors from there, I think, if I understood right.
Okay.
No, it wasn't Destroy All Monsters. It was what the fuck was that? No, All Monsters Attack.
Monsters Attack.
That was the one that was like the Avengers, where they brought and so they brought these directors that used to direct these movies.
Did you notice that they both started at exactly the same location?
Yes.
The shed with the building with the planks laying on the side of it, and they had the same freaking sub at the very beginning.
So do you think they shared a set, or do you think they just copied each other?
No. I seriously think that both of those companies have facilities right in this by the docks down in the same particular kind of funky, not completely restored part of the town. And that only makes sense because I honestly have to tell you, that's every horror film that I did started in the same place. Just in LA's version of it. That's all, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And it amused me greatly because all I could think of was, wow, some things just always remain the same, you know? That's it's like you build you do cheap low budget films in cheap low budget parts of town.
Right. Well, if you watch any movie that's shot in LA, you see the same areas, right, all the time.
Right. Oh yeah. But you know what? But the better areas are in the better parts of town. Trust me when I say Beverly Hills Cop had a lot of money. A lot of money went towards Beverly Hills to let them be in Beverly Hills.
Oh yeah, or Down and Out in Beverly Hills.
Oh yeah, trust me. Oh, Beverly Hills. When we were filming The Hidden, Beverly Hills has been so involved in some of the worst aspects of. I remember when we were filming The Hidden.
It's story time with Mick. It's story time with Mick. Mick Strawn is the best. He is gonna blow your mind. Story time with Mick. Story time with Mick.
A cop came, and we were permitted to be filming there, and we're in Beverly Hills, and Michael Nuri jumps in the car and skids out, and and I swear the on-set cop came over and said, "Hey, you can't do that. That's against our noise policy or whatever." And he goes, "Oh, come on, that's a bunch of bullshit." He did it again. They arrested him.
Oh, wow.
But also, I was working on another film.
Story time with Mick.
And all of a sudden, it was terrible. Dead Men Don't Die, which is, whoa, I swear to God, I would say look it up, but the smell will.
I think you told me about that.
Oh, the smell will knock you over. The thing is
Was it Elliot Gould? Is that the one you told me it was?
Yeah, Elliot Gould. Yeah, the one where I literally they said, "Oh, we're getting kicked out of this halfway through the day." They got kicked out of this. They got kicked. You know how bad these guys suck? They got kicked out of a parking garage. Now, how the hell does a film company get kicked out of a parking garage, which is essentially concrete above and concrete below? That's it. That's all there is, right? And they somehow or other got kicked out. And so they sent me across town to go set up the set, and the thing is you had to go through, it was in the city of industry. What was it? No, it was closer to, it was closer to Santa Monica. And the thing is Beverly Hills is right in between us, where I left and where I was going. I got to the area that I go in, I set up the sets and everything. Nobody showed up. And finally, at about like 6 o'clock at night, and they'd been missing it for hours. This is before, everybody had a telephone, right? There were no portable telephones anywhere. And so, at about 6 o'clock at night, a PA struggles on the set and tells us this story about how, as they're going across, as the whole company is going across town, they stopped and they decided they would just do some filming in the park. And evidently the park that they picked was in the middle of Beverly Hills, which is, wow. I got to tell you, I mean, you knew that this was just a bunch of amateurs going down the road, because anybody who knew anything about the town knew that you just didn't mess with Beverly Hills. So essentially, half the crew is in jail. But they just kind of rounded up everybody, and those that were wise enough to run away were the only ones that didn't get to spend the night in jail.
Wow. Well, that's awesome.
So Beverly Hills, there's a reason that we film in the funky parts of town. It's because they don't care. Explosions.
Whatever.
Still,
Explosions. No big deal. Whoa, ouch.
Wow, look at that.
So I was confused by this, because this was your suggestion. I'm like, Gamera. I've never watched any of the Gameras. I can admit to that, which is weird, because I've watched a lot of Godzillas. But Gamera, I actually looked this up to find out more information about it. It's a fictional monster, obviously. It's not real. Oh, God, it's not real.
Fictional, you say?
He first appeared in 1965 movie with the same director, Gamera, and Noraki Yuasa. I'm probably screwing up his name completely. And actually, it was the first film that was intended to compete with the success of Toho's Godzilla series.
Right.
And so this is 1970, and one thing that was interesting about it that I found when I was looking into it was like it's the 6th Gamera film, but they actually shot this at the Expo in 1970.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was one of the little trivia bits I found. I was like, what?
Yeah, because honestly, so much of it was models. I mean, huge amounts of that were just models,
It was filmed in the World's Fair in Osaka, Japan, during the World's Fair.
Wow. I have to say something about Gamera. In watching Gamera, okay?
Gamera, he's so cool. Dun, 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 dun.
He is the rainbow of evil? What does that mean? He's the rainbow of evil. I'm like, wow, what is that?
I think that he needs to work on his landings.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, did you notice that every time he lands, it's just a pancake and a bullnose.
Reminded me of Super Grover.
Yeah, because he goes and he lands and landing takes out a couple of buildings, right?
Well, he just looks really awkward, because even the opening credits where he was like showing very heroic scenes, like a montage of him doing all these things, like putting rockets through heads and stuff.
Right.
It was just very awkward.
Oh, and by the way, most of those shots, did you notice? Most of those shots were from that monster film that we saw.
Right.
Yeah, the same shots. Yeah. But I
love when he throws the rocket. He's like, ah. It just goes through somebody's head.
And the thing is that they really don't pull their punches in watching him. I mean, it was like a lot of Gamera and a lot of what was it? Jiger
or whatever. Jiger. Yeah.
Well, did you notice that he was only known as Monster X?
Well, actually, so originally the title was, I think one of the titles, there were like multiple titles that this was under, but one of them was Monster X. But this was, the one I saw was on Amazon Prime, and it was listed as Gamera versus Jiger, which is what it is on IMDb. Just kind of weird.
I saw it as Monster X.
And
in parentheses, Jiger in the Internet Archive.
And it was in Germany or something? German?
I don't know. No, it was actually in English. It was dubbed in English. Now, you saw a dubbed one, or you saw the original?
No, Japanese? I saw the actual. It was Japanese with American subtitles.
Yeah, no, this was actually dubbed.
Which I was confused because there were some white kids in there, very American.
Yeah,
and they were speaking Japanese.
Oh,
they were actually speaking Japanese. It was pretty interesting. I was like, what? And there's a couple lines where they spoke in English.
The ones that I was watching is they were literally having somebody overdub them back from Japanese into English.
I take it back. They might have been British, but there were a couple lines where they said, "That's cool." They said something in English. Like, I was like, what? It was kind of cool. I prefer to actually watch the Japanese versions because I could follow the acting better. I don't know why, but maybe it's the inflection in their voice and stuff, because the overdub stuff is always really cheesy.
Makes it, it honestly makes a little difference to me. I'm just there to see the monsters anyway,
Right. Well, I thought the monsters.
Is a good one for that, but
what did you think of the monsters? Weren't they kind of weak? Like, I thought they were it looked very cheap, like Halloween costumes.
Oh yeah. No, they were, but you know what? There were a lot of explosions, man. I mean, I like absolutely. One of them didn't seem to be able to move without some bit of electrical going off here and there. And I absolutely loved the sequences inside of.
Oh yeah. It was
oh man, that was great. And
reminding me of that movie where they go into the body. I can't remember what that one was called. When they go into the body of the person.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember right now.
I can't think of it.
Something Odyssey or something. I don't remember. But anyway.
Yeah.
60s.
Great. But this was great stuff all the way across. The only thing I 100% liked it. I'm getting to the point to where I'm now sort of recognizing some of the Japanese actors. This did have a slew of different ones, not the classics. Like a lot of the, it seems like a lot of the Godzilla ones have some of the real heavyweight Japanese character actors, at least, in it. And this one, you could tell that the heavyweight characters were like one step down.
Well, that's because they all had contracts. They probably said, "Don't work on Gamera because they're a bunch of jerks over there." Stay with Godzilla. I don't think I was as crazy about it as you were, because I didn't like the costumes. I thought it was really it was just so dumb. Like, so it wasn't even dumb in a good way. It wasn't enjoyable dumb. It was just dumb. I don't know.
I'm not saying that I thought it was the best.
I like certain things though.
But it was better than I thought it was going to be.
No, same here. Well, actually, when I saw the opening credits, I'm like, wow, this is going to be crazy. But then it kind of got worse as I watched it.
Well, it actually did have its own little subplot going and stuff, and I have to say that I like that. I mean, I also like the fact the colorfulness of it. It's not the black and white ones have a certain charm and all that, but the colorful ones knock me out, because then you begin to realize the colors that they will use on sets.
Yeah.
Because it is so much more colorful than we would ever do in American filming.
Well, the Jiger character too is like, I mean, it looked like, I don't know, he was just a horrible villain, I guess.
No,
it
that
wasn't
was
very
a
good.
horrible monster.
But I like Gamera because they look like they looked at Godzilla and said, okay, what can we make that's more awesome than Godzilla? How about sparks that fly out of and make him rotate while he flies?
Well, yeah, how about the ray that goes out and just like decimates like an entire 10, 15 acres of land all at once. And I kept thinking,
that was Jiger, the little
I thought to myself, man, that all looks very atomic bomb.
Yes, yeah. And they were hiding underground too. They were in subways hiding.
Yeah. You know, there is something though that honestly, why does Japan is the zeitgeist, especially of that time, was prepared for big things that happen, right? Because they had the big bombers come over for World War II. They had the big bomb drop, and I think that the monsters are literally a next step of that, because there's this this belief that there really are big things to fear. You know what I'm saying? I don't think America really ever made a, I mean, we had King Kong, right? Yeah. But in a way, King Kong was an import. He came from an island somewhere,
Yeah. Kind of like Jurassic Park.
Yeah. But the interesting thing is even Jurassic Park is more of the Japanese sense of filmmaking than it was of our sense of the American sense of filmmaking, because the thing is we're a big country that is supposed to be the big good that can fight any little problem that comes. Japan, on the other hand, is a small island that has been squashed by the atom, and it completely changed the point of view of how they're seeing things, thereby creating these incredibly intense huge monsters with the huge problems that we just don't have to deal with.
Right.
That our monsters our monsters are oddly enough kind of more psychological in a way.
Yeah, basically. Well, the one thing I like about this too is that you had the bad monster and the good monster, because you had Gamera, who's protecting the humans, and the humans are too stupid to realize it, except for their kids.
Exactly.
And then you had the Jiger, who's probably America coming into attack with the atomic thing. With
Japan has these big monsters that are on its side to fight the other big monsters that are outside there and stuff. I just don't think that that we ever let that kind of monster making. I mean, it's the biggest monster I think we have. The biggest monster we had was King Kong, as far as I can remember. And even then, it's not like there were like a million versions of King Kong that came out. There's Mighty Joe Young and like the few sequels of each, but nothing like what like the big monsters that come from Japan. It's just interesting. I that has to be a deep psychological thing.
Yes.
It's a thing, man. It's a thing. I'm telling you, it's just a thing.
Well, imagine if Canada made this movie. It'd be like they'd be fighting over what beer is best, probably, or I don't know. They'd make friends halfway through the movie. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's be friends.
They would make friends and then they would fight.
Right. Just a fun wrestling match.
Just it'd be just
loser buys the beer.
Just a little bit of fun, and it would be just outside of town, so that nobody
gets hurt.
Nobody. Well, it's so that it doesn't bother anybody.
Right.
I mean, heaven forbid somebody get hurt. Let's just not annoy them.
Right.
Right. Right.
I can see it at the end too. I'm sorry. Did we make too much noise? No, but totally my favorite part of this was when they went into the monster.
Oh, that was the best. That was
and battled the baby monster. That was ridiculous. But I like it.
and you got to admit, the baby monster did surprise you a little bit.
Yes,
when I got in there, I was like, so what's going to be in there? It's like, babe. It's like, sure. Okay.
I like
how exactly did that work?
And the doctor was, I don't remember what scene it was, but the doctor was looking at something and he's like, what is it, doctor? I think is it a curse? And then he's like, don't say that, doctor. That's very unscientific.
I know. That's my wife actually pointed that out. My wife goes, oh yeah, I said, she goes, doctor, am I pregnant? No. It's a curse.
That's very unscientific. And there are just some things that bothered me, like Jiger. If he could fly, why is he trying to swim all the way to this to the place? He can fly, right? So why is he swimming?
Yeah, there was a lot of. Did you? It's funny. It's because he was flying next to Gamera, and you go, okay, well, but I know how Gamera flies because he's got jets, right? Duh. And then you're going, well, what did this guy have? And then you see these little teeny tiny jets coming, and you go, I don't think so. I don't think so.
And then the little tricks they used, like when Jiger, whatever his name is, was drinking water. Did you see how they reversed it?
That was hilarious. That was, it's even my wife went, wow, that was some trick shot. Literally have 100 gallons of water spill out of him and then
reverse it.
So, oh my God. She says, that's kind of vile looking. It was.
And there was some good humor in here. Like the guys were on the boat. They were too busy talking to each other about what's going to happen. And then they realized the monster's going to hit them pretty soon, in like 2 seconds.
Right. Hey, wait.
Maybe we should stop talking. Oh, and then Gamera put the telephone poles in his ears to drown out the noise.
That was hilarious. That was like, oh my God.
So there's some good stuff.
Why don't I think of doing that?
I just got completely annoyed with the kids screaming all the time. They just annoyed the hell out of me, especially when they're battling and they're like,
Come on, you can do this, Gamera. Keep going.
I don't know what accent that was, but anyway, that would sound like a German accent.
Was he listening to them?
I don't know. Maybe he was, because they said,
plug your ears, Gamera.
He like ripped out the telephone poles. So maybe he was listening.
But the thing is, I have to rate this. I'm gonna go at 2.7.
What?
I'm gonna come to this computer and attack you.
Oh, I've always wanted to do that. I don't know why, but anyway.
Well, you just try it, buddy.
If this was supposed to compete with Godzilla, I'm just not feeling it. And I thought it was actually, I liked the length. It was really short and sweet, but really stupid and kind of entertaining. But I just didn't think it was that great. It wasn't bad enough for me to find it charming, if you know what I mean. Like, it wasn't so bad it was good.
This one, I have to say though, for me, this one did not pass the watch test.
Ah, the watch test.
I thought about 15 minutes before the end, I thought, yeah, this should wrap up right.
I thought it was nice, and it was tighter than I expected it to be, I guess. I found the kids really annoying, so if they cut out some of that crap, maybe it would be an hour. The part where they go inside, Gamera was awesome. But
awesome. That was awesome.
The horrible costumes, the monsters look horrible. It's like, hey, let's get some high school kids to put some costumes together for us. I don't know. I give it like a 2, really.
Fine. Be that way.
Oh, I do have another trivia point to bring up.
Oh, okay.
There's a sound effect there, I think.
Yeah.
There it is. So there's a scene where they have an elephant trunk and it has a big lump on its trunk.
Oh my God! I was
elephant.
going to check into that.
It was actually a real documentary shot. Oh, it was
Okay,
filmed for the movie with cooperation from the zoological park. I think Tama Zoological Park. Makeup and prop was applied to the elephant's trunk and filled with roundworms from a pig. Yusa joked that he himself would find it creepy. So they only showed it in black and white because it was too disturbing in color.
Wait a minute. So they did that. They
For the
actually
movie.
shot that for the movie.
Yeah.
By creating an appliance that goes on a. Is that something that elephants ever have a problem with?
I don't know.
Yeah,
No, he said the director said it was so disturbing in color that they showed it in black and white.
It was pretty disgusting. I have to tell you, it was. I mean, but both Paul and I went.
Oh, and this is also going to be. It's on the list for Mystery Science Theater 3000. So.
Oh, really?
I
Yeah.
thought that was interesting.
Wow, there you go. Okay.
But I mean, you always say,
Oh, this is a mystery science. It can't be that good.
well, guess what, buddy? Mm-hmm. This one is going to be too. See, I finally got you back.
It can't be that bad.
Because there's some movies I like, and you're like,
Well, it's not mystery science. It can't be good.
Yeah, it can't be good. It's not. It's made that. It's not made for good films.
so my advice is watch Godzilla. Forget about this one. I have to see
watch
another
all
one.
of them.
I have to see more.
I'm telling you, I want to watch all of them, and there are dozens and dozens.
Well, if this was
and
the
dozens.
sixth Gamera movie, I want to see the first one and see what that's like. I mean, because they might have been running out of things for Gamera to do.
You don't know. You don't know. It's possible.
And I don't really find a turtle that scary, so. He was on his back, really, like, what do I do?
Yeah,
what do I
but
do?
obviously the turtle, the turtle, everything that the turtle did was visually better worked out than Visigoth Jiger.
Yes.